The arrival of the Turks to Anatolia changed the fate of the Armenians as well as the destiny of Anatolia. Armenians, who experienced sectarian and administrative tensions with Byzantium, rebelled against Byzantium many times. Byzantine wants to use Armenians as a buffer against Islamic armies and Muslim Turks by setting them in certain regions in the east of Anatolia. A significant number of these Armenians refused to fight in the Byzantine army during the Battle of Malazgirt and established an Armenian tyranny in Cilicia under the leadership of Philaritos. With the cessation of the Crusades and the finalization of the Turkish rule in Anatolia, Armenians lived in peace and harmony after Byzantium as long as they did not commit terrorism or rebellion. When the 19th century came, colonialism and nationalist movements accelerated the breakup of great empires. The interests of states such as Britain, France, Germany, Italy, Tsarist Russia, which were called Great Powers, Düveli Muazzama, who colonized the underdeveloped regions, conflicted with the Great Ottoman state in many places. Separatism in multi-ethnical states like Austro-Hungarian Empire and the Great Ottoman state became a threat to security. Especially in the Ottoman Empire, ethnicity-related issues were not an internal problem anymore. The Greek revolts find support from the English since the British overlapping Mediterranean interests, and even the famous English poet Lord Byron was not satisfied with making Greek propaganda, voluntarily joining the Greek ranks. In this period, Slavic Orthodox elements were often used as an excuse by Russia to interfere with the internal affairs of the Ottoman state. Russia regarded itself as the protecting power of the Slavic and Orthodox subjects of the Ottoman state. The traditional policy of Tsarist Russia was pan-Slavism. The First World War emerged as a result of Germany's efforts to colonize, as well as the efforts of Western powers to dominate and influence the Ottoman territories. New problems emerged in the south and east for the Ottoman state, especially in the Balkans, suffering great losses due to ethnic tension. Many spies among the Arabs, and one of them, the famous English Lawrence, tried to weaken the Ottoman Empire by using Arabic ethnicity in this period and tried to cause confusion behind the front with his raid operations, and he succeeded. Like these and similar events that were happening inside, the new danger in the eyes of the Ottoman Empire was its struggle with the terrorist movements on the basis of Armenian ethnicity, supported by both Russians and Western states in terms of weapons, ammunition, money, and propaganda. Armenian resistance movements, Komita, which clustered around the Armenian settlements that scattered throughout Anatolia, threatened the local people and the backup frontline security. The activities of the Armenian committees, especially in the eastern provinces, required various measures. The armed Armenian gangs were also threatening the Armenians, who were not involved in incidents as much as the Turks, and encouraging the people to join the rebellion. Sometimes they even killed each other in such conflicts. For the Ottoman Empire, which fought on many fronts, such a problem in the inner regions created a great security weakness. The Ottoman government enacted the relocation law as a precautionary measure during the war. According to the law, it was not applied to the regions with no security issues such as Istanbul, to patients, and to those who perform certain tasks. With the decision of relocation, it was aimed to gather Armenians who created security threats throughout Anatolia at certain centers and eliminate security weakness, and the law was abolished after about a year later. While the relocation was continuing in Anatolia, in the eastern provinces, where the persecution of the Armenian committees felt the heaviest, the Armenians began to migrate to neighboring Russian and Georgian territories. When the Ottoman Empire was deemed defeated in the First World War and had to sign Mondros ceasefire and Treaty of Sèvres afterwards, the Armenian terror activities in these regions were revived. After the First World War, the Turkish forces under the command of Kazım Karabekir had not been demobilized and waited on full alert, especially because of the Armenian threat. As Armenian harassment and occupation increased, the forces under the command of officers who were in the national struggle, such as Kazım Karabekir and Deli Halit Bey, formed the Eastern Front. With the establishment of the Eastern Front, Armenian terrorist activities were put out one by one, and the region was allowed to return to the homes of the Muslim and Turkish community. From the turning points of the national struggle, with the Sakarya victory and the forces of the Eastern Front definitely defeated the Armenians, Kars Treaty was signed on October 13, 1921, between representatives of Turkey, the Soviet Union, Armenia, Azerbaijan, and Georgia. According to this, Turkey left Ajara region to Georgia. Nakhchivan was considered to be the land of Azerbaijan. The Armenians' assertions ended in the eastern provinces. All countries agreed that Kars, Ardahan, Erzurum provinces belongs to Turkey, and following the treaty, the Soviet army entered Armenia and the independent Armenian state ended.